And what's the deal, boys and girls? It's your boy Mark Gray. That is the Hall of Famer Jay Walker. Welcome to Jay Walker's Gimme 5 with me, Mark Gray. I'm just so happy to be here.
Yeah, you should be lucky that I brought you along.
I know,
but it's going to be a good ride. But Mark representing from the HBCU up in Baltimore, Morgan State. First show out, you know I've got to rock the Mecca, Howard University. So we're in the house, but we're going to have a lot of good things coming. And every time I go someplace, people always say, Jay, I need more of that top 5 and Gimme 5. It's Jay's Gimme 5. This is the show with Jay and Mark Gray. We're going to give you a whole lot of Gimme 5. I'm looking forward to it on a weekly basis.
So we proceed to give you what you need from around the world of HBCU sports and other stuff. And remember, you can follow us all over social media. So we got the Facebook demographic covered, you know, those of us a little bit
Grayer.
Seasoned, if you will. And then we've got, for those of you who are millennial and at least trying to stay with the millennials, got that Facebook, that Instagram and that Twitter thing working as well. So we're all over the place inside.
We got that, man. What's up? You gonna tell them what we got on the show or what, man?
It's a really hot show. You would want your favorite HBCU football team to come out of the box just like this. I mean, we got hot topics, we got the school of the week, and we're gonna figure out who are the team to watch down the stretch, and perhaps even talk about the best player in HBCU football again.
Yeah, and with that being said, we're gonna hit it all, but it all starts and ends the debate with Gimme 5. So how about this? The first Gimme 5 for the Gimme 5 show. This week's Gimme 5 brought to you by the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. All right, folks, how about this? The top 5 rivalries in all of HBCU football. Number 5, the Aggie and the Eagle, or the Eagle Aggie. North Carolina A&T and North Carolina Central. Central hates A&T, and guess what? I think the Aggies are starting to hate North Carolina Central too. Number 4, the battle for the real HU, which I have a problem with because there's only one HU, and that's Howard University and Hampton Institute University. I'm just playing, y'all. I know it's Hampton University, but this rivalry is more than just a football game. It goes year round. Howard and Hampton, oh yeah, that's a rivalry. Number 3, let's go on down to the SIP. Mississippi, that is, Jackson State versus ALCORN. For y'all folks that don't know better, it's not ALCORN, it's ALCORN, as in always ALCORN. These two schools separated by less than 2 hours. Oh, they get it on in the Capital City Classic every year. Jackson State ALCORN, my number 3 best rivalry. Number 2, let's get a little bit of sunshine up in here. Let's go down to Florida with Bethune-Cookman and FAMU. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Not only do these football teams compete on the field, but this is probably the loudest HBCU football game in the country because the Marching 100 is really good, but for the past couple years, the #1 band in all black college football, oh yeah, it's been those Wildcats from Bethune-Cookman. And when they get together to mix it up down there in Orlando, oh, it's a rivalry that you can get a sense of excitement for. And the #1 rivalry should not come as a surprise. You could call it the granddaddy of them all. It's a state holiday in Louisiana every time Grambling plays Southern University. The North meets the South, Louisiana style, from the crawfish to the dancing dolls to the gumbo to the etouffee and a little bit of Bourbon Street to go in there as well. Oh yeah, it's a fan-friendly experience, but it also is the biggest rivalry in all of HBCU sports. On the bubble, not quite making the list, the Magic City Classic. I love it. The #1 event in all black college. Alabama A&M and Alabama State mix it up annually down in Birmingham, Alabama in historic Legion Field. That's my list. If you want to talk about it, hit me up on any of our social media tags and I'll maybe let you have a little input on next one. All right now, I tell you all the time now, it's Jay's Gimme 5, but you always have something to say. What say you, Mark Gray?
Well, first off, I don't know how you can talk about great HBCU rivalries and not have Tennessee State represented, if for no other reason than the aristocrat of bands, bro.
this is not who fills the stadium. They're in the
Yes,
OVC
it
for
is.
one, so who is their natural rival?
Jackson State _1. They still get 60,000 in the Liberty Bowl
Yeah,
for
but
that game.
Tennessee State, they still got a problem with FAMU too, so no, rival.
FAMU, they're going to be playing in Orlando, so they a big market, big venue team. Wherever they show up, people show up. I like, Tennessee State has to make it with either FAMU or Jackson State as their rivalry.
All right, so who do you drop off my list? That's what I wonder. Everybody always gives me a hard time, like, you should have did this, should have did that. And when they get quiet, when I say, oh, who would you replace?
All right, now I'm a solutions-based person, and unfortunately, I would have to drop the battle of the real HU.
Oh, get out of here.
Hampton and Howard does not make the list. First of all, you're lucky if you get 10,000 people to come to the game, and I guarantee you, 8,000 of those people have their noses so far in the sky, they're not even watching the game.
We are who we are. You may want to rename it to the Battle of the Talented 10th. I can see you going with that.
Okay, that's cool.
I can see you going with that. But Howard Hampton is deeper than just that game. We don't like each other year round.
Well,
Like Tennessee State, they got a problem with FAMU one day a week. They got a problem with Jackson State twice a year. At Howard Hampton, it's year round. I still don't like Hampton. The Institute.
Who cares about the debates that you guys are having during the cocktail hour? We're talking about football. We're talking about tailgating. We're talking about atmosphere. We're talking about national cachet. And we're talking about teams that are putting players in the NFL. It's must-see TV when Tennessee State plays against Jackson or FAM or Southern, okay?
Yeah, but the hate factor. That's what I say. I look for the hate factor. So the schools you're talking about, like you could talk about Alabama State. In Alabama State, who's their real rival? I put it down there as Alabama A&M. But Alabama and Tuskegee, Alabama State, Tuskegee,
our school of the week.
they go deep. They
Clever
go
teams.
deep. So, we'll see about that. But I just think that a true rival, you have to say it's more than just a game. You hate each other. And I would say one of the most intense rivalries out there is North Carolina Central absolutely hates North Carolina A&T.
And I would grant you that too. But you got to add Tennessee State. I'm sorry, Hampton just doesn't make the cut. At least you had, some representation. But the bottom line is, when I look at great rivalries, I got the big picture, and you can't have great HBCU rivalries without Tennessee State. Well, the temperatures are going down right now, J.O., but the conference races have all heated up. And a funny thing happened to North Carolina A&T on the way to the destiny of a third national championship in 4 years. They lost to Morgan, and then they lost to FAM, and now they're fighting for the playoff lot. What happened to A&T? What is going on in a crazy MEAC race?
Man, A&T was the pride of HBCU football. Without question, I think everybody was proud of them for what they did. They knocked off Jacksonville State in the neutral site game in Alabama. Then they followed up by knocking off East Carolina. You're like, oh, they're going to run. But what happened with A&T is this. You can be big and bad all you want to when you leave your block. When you leave your block, you go out there, oh man, that was the hardest dude in my hood, right? But what happened when you go back on your block? Your neighbors know you.
Yeah.
They know you. So they know your habits. They know if you're real tough or not. And Morgan State was like, we know who you are. We're really not that afraid of you. Now, that surprised me. Now, they shouldn't have lost to Morgan State.
At home.
They shouldn't. FAMU, they lost to them at home, too. So I think when you get in conference play, your neighbors know you. Like, I know you, Mark Gray. You ain't hard.
Yeah, but okay, that may be true by football standards. I'm more of a baseball player. We're a more dignified game. Anyway,
give credit though to FAMU. FAMU going there, beating them at home to solidify their lead in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. That's phenomenal. Great job of first-year head coach Willie Simmons, and I like what they say. The Millennium has started down in Tallahassee.
Oh, let's pump your brakes because we know millenniums down there have a tendency to last for about 18 months.
But the Millennium, not Millennium, the Millennium for Willie Simmons. That was clever.
Era is not a word that you associate with the Florida A&M coaching position, with all due respect, my friend. All right, Jay, let's go out west and talk SWAC, where Grambling was supposed to get back to the Celebration Bowl to avenge last year's loss, and they slipped up not once, but twice in the league. So now Southern has the control of their own destiny.
Yeah, it's the wild, wild west for sure out there. And I think with Grambling, it's a rebuilding year. They've been the most successful program in the SWAC for the past 3 or 4 years, but they lost Kincaid and Carter. That's a lot of offensive firepower. And not only that, they lost those 2 players. They lost Eric Dooley, their offensive coordinator, who went to Prairie View A&M, and everybody knows Prairie View looks really good.
And beat them, yeah.
But give credit to Southern. I can't figure out Southern. Are they the team that we saw get embarrassed for their own homecoming by Alcorn State, or are they the team that beat down Prairie View A&M on the road? So Southern right now, they control their own destiny. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
What do you make of the quarterback position at Southern?
They miss Austin Howard, but it's they've changed up the offensive scheme from pure drop back to now this run pass option. But whatever they're doing, it's working, because right now they control their own destiny in the SWAC Western Division.
Last year, when it came to individual talent, it was Amir Hall's world, Bowie State's unbelievable quarterback, and everybody else was in it. This year, I don't know, Jay. I mean, I saw Kalen Newton up close for the first time. He's something else. So, your thoughts? Who's the person to beat as far as HBCU Player of the Year?
I still go old school. To be the man, you have to beat the man. And Amir Hall's numbers look really good. The problem Amir Hall's having, he's got 2 losses on the year. And as a quarterback, ultimately you're judged by those wins and losses. Kalen Newton is explosive. He will go down in the record books as the greatest quarterback in the history of Howard University. I've had it for 25 years.
Well,
he's welcome to have it.
Right there,
he will go down that way. And I believe that down in the SWAC, I think it's Dewanye Tucker, the outstanding running back from Prairie View A&M, number 2 in all of FCS football. Not just black college, but FCS football. Legitimate threat. I think it's a 3-horse race for the HBCU Player of the Year.
Tariq Cohen 2.5?
Not quite. Maybe Tariq Cohen like 0.5.
Okay. Well, just to be mentioned with the great Chicago Bear running back is something to be said.
Yes, it is.
There's a beautiful piece of property in Alabama that's been home to some of the great minds who've impacted America and some great football players too. Our school of the week, Tuskegee University.
It's time to pay homage to our school of the week. And can't you tell what it is? Oh yeah, the T, the U, the SKE, the GEE, Tuskegee. I'm not going into all that chant stuff. I'll let y'all do that one. But let me give it to you, Gimme 5 style, what I like about the Golden Tigers. Number 5, what school can brag if they produce in their band not only Lionel Richie, but the Commodores? Oh yeah, Tuskegee has a proud musical heritage. Number 4, let's pay homage to them being a fantastic academic institution by being ranked the 4th HBCU in the 2017 U.S. News and World Report. Number 3, go back to their history a little bit. The first African-American general was Chappie James. And oh yeah, Chappie James is an alumnus of Tuskegee University. But when you talk about number 2, I think this is gonna get y'all going. Tuskegee, they got this thing they call the Tuskegee way, where they like to ball and parlay. Where do they do that? Their home football field called The Shed. You don't know about Tuskegee if you don't know about The Shed. And number 1, gotta give it up, it's an easy one. Booker T. Washington was the president and the leader of Tuskegee University. If you don't acknowledge Booker T, then you don't know anything about Tuskegee University. And on the bubble, I'm an athlete, so I gotta give it up. Drayton Florence, I got you, homeboy. You did a fantastic job representing Tuskegee in the NFL. And also, take this little nugget with you. Lonnie Johnson, the inventor of the Super Soaker, also went to Tuskegee University. That's what I say about Tuskegee University. I know I'm going to hear from all y'all folks, so go ahead and hit us up on all of our social links, and we can debate it next week. Congratulations, Tuskegee, our HBCU School of the Week. I had a tough time putting together that list. I know I left off some talent, Mark, so go ahead and give it to me.
Yeah, Tom Joyner, benevolent HBCU philanthropist, amongst one of the great broadcasters in the history of America. And then you've got the Tuskegee Airmen. I mean, talk about a win percentage when it comes to saving the United States, man.
That's a good one.
It was pretty good. And
See,
then,
I go a little bit under the weeds. You know what I would have put on there?
What?
If the chicken coop was still open, and that's strictly a Tuskegee thing, I would have put the chicken coop on there. You don't know about that, Mark.
well, I was going to tell you about the other Tuskegee Airmen. And Golden Tiger fan from the mid-90s will remember Maurice Hurd to Chris Holder when Coach Jim Martin Sr. was head coach down there. Man, they were throwing that ball around like it was being at Fort McHenry when they were writing in Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
It was something to watch, and those great Tuskegee Morehouse game fireworks galore. It was fun stuff.
Well, what you do is I'm sure we'll hear about what we missed and what the fans have to say about it. As they hit us up, we'll talk about it next time. But it's been a lot of fun, man.
Always a pleasure. Remember, your thoughts, questions, concerns, clever disses, we want to hear from you. Check us out all over the place in cyberspace on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on a electronic device.
Give me 5.
Give me 5, dog.
On the Give Me 5 show.
That's Jay. We out.
Peace.